Bayreuther Aktien original.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got one here today from the Bayreuther Beer Brewery, which is what is known as an Aktien brewery. Now that means that it's independent, but there are shareholders, if that makes sense. And Aktien literally translates into German as shares, and you'll see that on a few breweries. For example, the best known one would be the Dortmunder Export Brewery, and it basically means that, you know, people have bought shares in there, they have an interest in there, if you like, but it's still retained by the family, and I imagine, I'm not too sure about this one, but I think they own the majority of shares. And they do like to make that clear for some reason, which I don't see the significance, really, to be honest. You'd never really, well, I suppose you would, you'd get PLC or something like that if it was a British brewery, but it's not really something to make a song and dance about, but they do, apparently. Now, I've tried some Bayreuther beer before, and I'm pretty sure it was about 5 years ago, and it was the lager, and they do a really nice lager, and it's got the Vittelbach coat of arms, you know, the Bayern Munich crest, if you like, the checkerboard, the light blue checkerboard on the front of it, and I do remember it as being quite good. I haven't tried this stuff before, though. I've also got some more of their stuff in the fridge. I've got Zwickel beer, which is what they call Keller beer. Now, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of that, but just needless to say, I have got one in the fridge. But this is from Bavaria. You know, and I know you're probably getting really fucking bored with me buying all these beers from Bavaria, but I've got to try them. It's a tough job, but some bastard has to do it. Now, doing research for this, trying to find out where Bayreuther was in Bavaria, I looked it up on the map, and it's in the region of Franconia. Now, Franconia has a massive brewing tradition. There is over 200 breweries in Franconia, and I've tried some really good stuff from there, notably some of the Kulmbacher stuff, which is in a region called Kulmbach, funny enough, but they are the pioneers of the Eisbock style of beer. Tried that was really good. So within Bavaria, you know, Munich obviously has its culture as well, but the Franconian region also has a big beer tradition as well. I've got to tell you this, I was looking up where it was on the map, and right near it, there was a place called Scheisshaus, right? Now, my fucking 5-year-old schoolboy mentality was thinking, have they called a place shithouse? Surely not. And I had to translate it, so I looked it up. And apparently it basically translates to shooting lodge. But it's pronounced Schießhaus, I would imagine. But I read that as Scheisshaus, which obviously translates to shithouse. And believe me, I've met a few shithouses in my time. But yeah, I couldn't believe that they would call a place shithouse, but they haven't. So my faith in Germany, I wouldn't say it's been restored. I'd probably be more interested if they'd called in a place shithouse. Imagine that, saying, where are you from in Germany? I'm from shithouse. That'd be fucking great, wouldn't it? Anyway, moving along swiftly. Let's get this beer open. Right, before we get it open, quick run through of what it is. It's 500ml bottle. It is 5.3%. It's all in German, and it's the usual caper on the back, I would imagine. Yeah, it's just refined lager. The recipe dates back to 1857. Conforms to the Reinheitsgebot. It's in Bayreuther, or this brewery's in Bayreuther in Hindenburgstrasse. Oh, Hindenburg Yeah, Hindenburgstrasse. Yeah, it is. Now, apparently this place was flattened in the war, and they rebuilt it. And yes, that is what the modern brewery is. So, with that in mind, let's get it open. Now, I'm pretty sure this is an original lager style beer. It's bottom fermented, and they do say that it contains, or their beers contain, their take on the Hallertauer and Spalt hops. So that'll be interesting to see. Now, I'm not sure whether this is a Keller beer or whether it's been filtered, because they do say that this has been lagered now, and this has been filtered. I'll tell you something, this fucking glass ain't been washed. That is filthy. See, I do a fucking video about glassware and the importance of keeping it clean, and I'm sat here being the fucking biggest hypocrite going with a dirty glass. That is disgusting. You see the bubble sticking to the side? Oh, this is not on. This is not good business, my friend. Right, what we got on the nose? Oh, very lemon and peppery. That's interesting. Slight sulphurous. Sulphur, lemon and pepper. Sounds horrendous, but it's actually what you sort of want to smell in a Bavarian beer. Sorry about the noise outside, mate. He's got his, I think it's a generator or a hose going. I don't know what he's doing, but kicking up a racket. Yeah, that smells really nice. Some very nice sweet malty overtones in there as well. It does smell good. It smells typically Bavarian. And there is a ton of carbonation. Look at that. It's a lovely golden straw colour. Now, what I normally do is I normally smell it halfway down the glass, because the carbonation will put it up and the glass will funnel it. But I've just decided to get the whole lot in this time, because I'm absolutely gasping for a beer. Really do need one. Oh, it's really nice. That is really good. Let's get it down the hatch. Zum Wohl, as they say in Germany. The malt character isn't as big, or is it? Well, no, I lie. Here it comes. Nice long finish on it. Oh, that is really nice. I do like that. Wow, with all that carbonation in there, you'd think that would be quite aggressive in the mouth. It's not. It's really nice, and it's typically Bavarian. Reminds me of the mouthfeel of the Löwenbräu. It's got that huge amount of carbonation in the glass, but in the mouth it's just barely noticeable. It's just enough to push around them flavours. I'm liking this. Very light, doughy type bread type malt. Fair old bit of lemon citrus on there, which has got a peppery style overtone, which really complements it. It gives it a slightly dry finish, but then just as you're getting used to that, then comes the big malty finish that you get with a lot of these Bavarian beers, and it's the liquid bread type finish, you know, as they like to say. That's how they describe their beers, if you like. I have to say the mouthfeel is absolutely superb. There was a slight honey overtone on that as well. and it is good, believe me. But the flavours I'm finding are a little bit subdued compared to other beers. Now, if I compared this to the Hacker beers, for example, you get much bigger malty character on it than you do with this. This is like a very, not very, but it's somewhat lighter than the other Munich beers, but it's still nice. Now, they're saying that this is a recipe from 1857. I'm pretty sure if this was served in 1857, it wouldn't look like that. It wouldn't be filtered, it would be cloudy, it would be more like a Keller beer. And I'm wondering whether they've called it Zwickel, that is the name of the beer, but it's actually their Keller beer. I'm wondering whether that is more in keeping with that sort of style. Well, it would be, certainly for the fact it hasn't been filtered. But this is nice, I have to say. There's nothing to complain about in here, and it is a good, solid Bavarian lager, Helles, Hell, whatever you want to call it. So what's the verdict on Bayreuther Aktien Original? Yeah, it's really good. It's a very nice example of a Bavarian Helles. I don't think it's the best, but it's certainly good, believe me. You know, compare this to a lot of the other North German lagers and Helles, and this is what Bavaria does best. The wheat beers and the Helleses. Now, don't get me wrong, there's other great beers that come out of Bavaria, like the Doppelbox and the Icebox. Well, to be honest, does Bavaria do a bad style of beer? Well, there's the odd brewery that does, I would say, below par beer. But as for the styles of beer, yeah, they're pretty decent as it goes. And you will probably find the best examples of German styles of beer, with the possible exception of Pilsner in Bavaria. But as far as this goes, yeah, this is very nice indeed. I'm going to give it a very solid 8.5 out of 10. I recommend it. It's on Beers of Europe at the moment, and it's under £3. It's just a good, solid Bavarian beer. Now, if you're into your mixing and matching and you don't buy big cases of the same type of beer, I'd say get this. If you're going to buy this in bulk, I would say probably go for the Augustiner, because that'll be the best beer you'll ever get, in my opinion. But it's okay. It's not too bad. So I'm giving that a solid 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to recommend it. And remember, beer is working class champagne.